We look at the facts, we look at the law, and we bring charges.
Fulton County DA Fani Willis last night after bringing the indictment against former President Trump. As I said earlier, I predict she's going to have a lot of defending to do with regard to the appearance of political bias, which is an area in which I think she's done herself no favors. In fact, Trump's lawyers are continuing with efforts to have her removed, most recently saying they'll appeal to the Georgia Supreme Court and try to have the grand jury's findings tossed out. But here's where it gets interesting. Trump might not have to go through the courts at all. You see, in May, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed into law a bill to establish a commission with the power to remove local prosecutors who refuse to uphold the law. Reasons include willful misconduct in office, mental or physical incapacity, willful and persistent failure to carry out statutory duties, conviction of a crime and conduct prejudicial to the administration of justice that lowers the reputation of the office. The commission will be comprised of 8 members. 3 were appointed last week, which included DA, who's run as a Republican in the past, and 2 other ADAs from across the state appointed by the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker of the House, and a Senate committee, all Republican. In total, 5 members will be part of an investigative panel. The other 3 will form a hearing sort of in charge of doling out punishments. Willis herself has called the law racist. The question is, would the commission, which begins taking complaints in October, be a tool for Trump's legal team to go after Willis? Joining me again, Amy Lee Copeland and John Malcolm, both former Georgia federal prosecutors. Amy Lee, you think this is something that the Trump team is going to pursue?
Dan, I think they're going to pursue everything they can in this case. Whether they're going to be successful will be an entirely different matter.
What do you know about, I guess we don't know yet exactly who's going to be on this commission, et cetera. But John, I would presume that Trump is going to try to use it in some way, shape, or form to get rid of her.
Yeah, he may. I mean, let's be clear. This is not why this law was passed. So recently, for instance, Ron DeSantis had removed 2 prosecutors, Andrew Wheeler and Monique Worrell. They're so-called progressive prosecutors. I refer to them as rogue prosecutors because they are not enforcing the laws that the Florida legislature passed. And Georgia has prosecutors like this, too. There's the DA, Deborah Gonzalez, in Athens County, who has said she's not going to prosecute marijuana cases, even though it still violates the law in Georgia. There are several DAs who have said that they are not going to enforce criminal penalties now for people who perform illegal abortions. That's why this law was passed, for people who were not upholding their oath to faithfully execute the law. But I'm quite sure that Donald Trump's team will try to take advantage of this law. I would be shocked if Fani Willis was removed for that reason. Right,
but it is written broadly enough that I don't think there's any chance that he's not going to pursue this in an effort. And let me just really quickly ask both of you with regard to the timeline here. Fani Willis saying that she's hoping to get this case going in 6 months. Amy Lee, any chance?
She says she can do it. I believe her. She's been investigating it for a long time, and that indictment certainly had a lot of detail. And she can, I think she'll be ready in 6 months, but whether the defense will and whether we can strike a jury if trial starts in 6 months are 2 totally different questions.
Right. I mean, you don't actually believe that that's, come on. I mean, I know that you want to root for her, but come on, there's no actual chance that this is going to start.
I've got no skin in this game, Dan.
All right,
I mean, but she's been working this case a long time, and if she says she can do it, I got to take her at her word.
Why do you have to take her at her word? I don't take any of these people at their word. But John,
that's why you're a newscaster, Dan.
I guess. I try and see fact. I try and look at facts. I try and look at history. I look at the fact that, that she took a year to even impanel a special grand jury, and now she's saying she's going to be able to get it in 6 months. John, real quick.
Not a prayer. She has indicted 19 co-conspirators and 30 unindicted co-conspirators. Jack Smith, who has 1 defendant, is trying to get his trial in January. In March is when Alvin Bragg's proceeding, and the classified documents case takes place in May. There is no way on God's green earth this trial takes place. Election.
On this one, I'm with John. Some of the other issues, I'm with Amy Lee. Thank you both for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below
to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.